of the Aurora City Council for Monday, January 27th, 2025 is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Kaufman.
Here.
Councilmember Bergen.
Here.
Councilmember Coombs. Councilmember Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Hancock. Councilmember Drinsky.
Here.
Councilmember Casal. Councilmember Lawson.
Here.
Councilmember Medina.
Here.
Councilmember Mario.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Stenberg. Mayor Pro Tem Stenberg.
Oh, I'm sorry. Here.
Thank you.
I've been informed by the city attorney that if we are to go in virtual, that a motion is in order and we will have to vote on it. Motion is in order to go to a virtual meeting for a study session.
So moved.
It's been moved by Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, seconded by
Mayor second.
second by Councilmember Lawson. Call for the, is there any discussion?
Mayor,
Let's see. Councilmember Coombs.
is this specifically pertaining just to study session and not the council meeting?
That's correct.
Okay.
And it does require a 2/3 vote.
Okay, with the clerk, further discussion? Seeing none, would the clerk please call the roll on the motion to go into a virtual for a study session?
Mayor Kaufman.
Mayor votes yes.
Councilmember Bergen.
Yes, although we don't vote in study session.
That's what the city attorney told me.
This is a procedural vote, so you're correct. You don't vote on agenda items, but you do vote to change the format, change your council rule on this.
Councilmember Coombs.
Yes.
Councilmember Gardner.
Yes.
Councilmember Hancock. Councilmember Drinsky.
Yes.
Councilmember Casal. Councilmember Lawson.
Yes.
Councilmember Medina.
Yes.
Councilmember Mario.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Stenberg.
Yes.
There's no mayor's update. Are there any issue updates? Seeing none, is there any objection to moving the consent calendar forward, item number 2A? Seeing no objection, the consent calendar, item number 2A, move forward. Item number 3A, FISR, Federal State Intergovernmental Relations January Committee Report. Liz Rogers.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Liz Rogers, Intergovernmental Relations Manager. So at the Pfizer Committee meeting on January 10th, the committee took support positions on 3 pieces of legislation. The first one was the local authorities enforced vehicle registration, which is currently a draft. However, it is the draft that the city has been working on to address motor vehicle registration. The other 2 bills are House Bill 25-1062, penalty for theft of firearms, Senate Bill 25-20, tenant and landlord law enforcement. Are there any changes to the position? And I'll answer any questions on these bills.
Questions? Or discussion? Councilmember Bergen.
Yeah, Liz, can you just brief me on the tenant one?
Yes. So in summary, the bill would authorize the city to apply to the district court for the appointment of a receiver to operate multifamily residential properties when there's a violation of city ordinance concerning multi-residential properties that has gone uncorrected for more than 30 days after notice, or a second violation of city ordinance concerning the multi-residential family property within a 12-month period. So if a receiver is appointed, the receiver will submit a remediation plan to the court to be enforced.
Okay, and then that would take how much time? Do we know?
Specifically, how much time would the remediation plan take? I think that might be dependent on what remediation is needed and would be detailed in the plan that they would submit to the court.
Okay, thank you.
Mayor.
Councilmember Mario.
Thank you. Does this bill contemplate, I feel like I'm getting in the details just because of what we've had to go through here in Aurora, but does this contemplate how the receiver establishes residency when coming up with some sort of plan? Is that a requirement? Yeah, could you comment on that?
What, I guess, can you explain further what you mean by establishing residency for the
Well, if they're
receiver?
yeah, if they're going to take action on what's going on the property, they probably have to establish who lives there. What we've seen in Aurora is that landlords like CBZ were taking advantage of residents and discouraging them from getting a lease, for example, saying that, oh, you know, we don't do business. We do business in cash, for example. So that's where some of the concerns are coming from there.
Okay, thank you so much for clarifying that. I don't believe that the bill discusses on how residency would be established. It mostly discusses the remediation plans to address code violations.
Further discussion?
Okay, thank you.
Is there any objection to supporting, which bill was that? Or does that have a bill title yet?
Senate Bill 25-20, and then the other two bills discussed were House Bill 25-1062 and our draft for the vehicle registration.
Okay, any objection to those? Oh, okay, thanks. Anything else, Liz?
No, that's all.
Okay, 3B, multi-purpose entertainment venue feasibility study update. Councilmember Gardner.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I'll just turn it over to Laura and to the outside presenters for this, but for the public's information, this is an update on a ongoing effort by the city to investigate the potential construction of a multi-purpose entertainment venue in the city. And there's been a lot of work done and a lot more work to do, but tonight is an update on that process.
Very well. Laura.
Open up the presentation here. Okay, good evening, Mayor and council members. I am joined tonight by Ryan Johnson and Mark Delatour, both with Johnson Consulting. Mark is with MIG. So as a reminder, the city has embarked upon a multi-purpose entertainment venue feasibility study. And what this study will do is cross a broad range of areas to study the possibility of an entertainment venue for Aurora. So this includes a market analysis, stakeholder engagement, which was done late last year, where we conducted a consumer preference survey, did a variety of focus groups and interviews with various stakeholders. And also a facility and site analysis. We're taking a look at space, a program for spaces, amenities, a facility program, looking at comparable facilities through case studies, all of which leads into a financial analysis and economic impact of potential options for such a venue. So next, Ryan Johnson will walk us through the agenda for the presentation.
Great. Thank you, Laura, and thank you, City Council members, for your time this evening. Very excited to be here. We do have some very important and exciting updates from our process to date. So first, I'll go through a project status update and then also outline some of the findings and an overview of the engagement process that we went through. And then also talk about some of the case study observations and their implications for the project here in Aurora. And finally, we'll discuss next steps. So just a brief outline of the tasks of work that we've been working on over the past, I guess, over a year now. Really tasks 1 through 6, we've been very deliberate in going through our kickoff and orientation, our market analysis, understanding the venues within the region, as well as the opportunity, any gaps in the market might present. And then stakeholder engagement, I think, is a key focus of our time here today. Just wanted to briefly mention that we had a very successful and robust engagement effort. And then also as we go into our survey work and our findings from the survey, I believe this was one of the most responded to surveys from the city. So I just wanted to point out the high level of interest from the community in this project. And then also go through again some of those case studies. So I think I'll be passing this along to Mark to go through the public engagement.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ryan. So as Ryan noted, it started with our project kickoff in the early Q2 of last year. Went through a series of interviews with council members to understand from the ward perspective, the comings and goings and everything unique to the various districts of Aurora. The community engagement really taking pace in the early fall, late summer, in part to allow us to get through the technical analysis and study portions of the initial task that Ryan had noted. A large part of that community engagement was through a consumer preference survey, which was pushed through y'all's communication platforms, was pushed through your council communications protocols, and was pushed even further during pop-up events at MiniCon and Southlands Farmers Market. And as Ryan noted, we neared almost 2,000 respondents. And importantly, the focus group conversations that both ran parallel to this and followed it in the industry interviews that is noted there. What we were starting to hear from the broader community really informed the targeted groups that we are having kind of ongoing and further conversations with in greater detail. And we'll see that in a later slide. Moving forward. Did I miss one there? Did we miss one? No, this is it. Okay, sorry, Laura. As I noted, the initial findings from the consumer preference survey, which is an important piece there, really started to frame who we were reaching out to and what level of detail we were having conversations. And you'll see a pretty heavy representation of both local and regional arts groups. That was in part due to some of the initial findings that we were seeing from that consumer preference survey. It's not to say, again, we were not engaging with local sports and recreation organizations, but given sentiment shared by the larger community, an area of focus certainly was tilting towards something that had more of an entertainment or event or concert kind of disposition. On the following slide, we'll start to get into what we actually heard and the sentiments. And those themes really focused around the expense of current offerings, the cost of the event or access to the event, the distance at times with the pace being kind of to the south and outside of Aurora's boundaries and some newer facilities coming online. The distance and access to those was certainly a theme that we heard. A focus on family friendliness in terms of the offerings of concerts and events and the variety and diversity of types of experiences, and a tilt towards that catering to the local population as well. And music performances being high margin in terms of interest, both cultural and recreational preferences in that space. Safety, an ongoing note of importance and consideration as it relates to public areas and public amenities and whatever is provided, and then of course the financial realities of how those come to bear, and the desire to avoid excess taxes in doing so. Looking to the results themselves, you can see here in kind of a summary chart those top priorities along the blue bubbles up there. Concerts, dance performances, and festivals and events really rising to the top and in terms of the types of activities that Aurora residents would be most likely to attend. And while there's a collection of them, and it is separated across somewhat professional and high school and sports leagues and things of that nature, a lower priority being on the athletic or sports end of the spectrum. And that's not to say there isn't a place for those, but the preference of the community and the consumer is really tilting in this instance more towards the concerts, events, and performance type spaces.
And so one other point too, Mark, I just really think it's important to emphasize as we think about the opportunities and the direction that we're going to recommend ultimately for this project, just the outstanding number of interest in the concert activity in particular, I think is really critical. It's almost more than double some of the other top performing activities. And I think it also goes in line with those other top performing activities quite well. So there's a lot of synergy and coalescence around concerts and all those other, theater, dance performance, as well as festivals, which can happen at the venue potentially, or also around the venue while events are happening. I'm actually going to let my colleague Ryan Fetterman speak to this slide.
Yeah, thank you. Hi, everybody. So I just want to take a few minutes to talk through some of the case study research that we've conducted for the project so far, and applying some of the best practices here to a future project in Aurora. So we looked at different case studies that focused on multi-purpose entertainment as well as entertainment districts and destinations. I just want to highlight a few of these, starting with the Toyota Music Factory. It's a hybrid indoor-outdoor Live Nation promoted venue. The flexibility of this venue is really what sets it apart, with the ability to have an indoor configuration of 2,500 or 4,000 with the additional outdoor seating, adding 3,000 to 4,000 more seats, so a total of 8,000 for their largest events. This design allows for a variety of events to be attracted to the venue, and in talking with community stakeholders and industry experts, the scale of this venue is really missing in Aurora. This venue is also a result of a public-private partnership between the city and continues to be supported through a TIF district, in which sales taxes are generated by the surrounding hotels and retail businesses, and then those dollars are reinvested into the venue. The next one was the Salt Shed, and it's located in Chicago. This is an example of historical preservation and adaptive reuse, which allowed for unique tax incentives for from the city of Chicago for development. The shed features an outdoor area with a capacity of 5,000 and an indoor venue with a capacity of 3,600. We also looked at different unique funding tools for each case study. And in Chicago, the city employs an amusement tax where entertainment owners and operators pay a fixed rate on each ticket transaction, which then goes back to the city. 4th Street Live and Kansas City Live, both developed by the Cordish companies, are good examples of centrally located downtown entertainment destinations. 4th Street Live is in Louisville. It's an entertainment and retail hub. It's located by their convention center, their arena, a minor league baseball stadium, and a cluster of hotels. The venue itself is a pedestrian mall. There's a 350,000 square foot open air music venue with a canopy, and it's surrounded by bars and restaurants. And this district was really a catalyst for revitalizing downtown Louisville and hosts a number of free public events, similar to the larger centrally located community gathering space that Aurora is really looking for. KC Live is one of the 9 blocks of the Power and Light District devoted to live music and entertainment venues, and it's also supported by mixed-use development. The entertainment venue itself has a capacity of 8,000, and similarly to 4th Street Live, it is surrounded by eateries and nightlife venues. Both live projects were developed through private-public partnerships using a number of funding tools like bonds and tips and tax revenues, again, generated by the district themselves. We've also included a few other case studies here, like Parkway Bank Park, as sports has been a large part of this conversation throughout. And this development most closely resembles what a future sports development in Aurora may look like, as well as 2 other districts that we're familiar with, Rio Nuevo and Gaylord National, as other great examples of entertainment districts.
And I think, just to close on this and why we have Toyota Music Factory twice is that's really kind of emerging in our research and our from our findings as kind of an ideal prototype example of what might best fit the residents' requirements for what they're missing here in Aurora. So just wanted to end on that and emphasize that.
Yeah, and I think on the left here were just some key themes that we really carried out through all the case studies that I think are really good examples for Aurora to follow when thinking about a future project in the city. So turn it over back to Ryan. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Ryan. So on this next slide, really talking about what's next. So really finalizing a recommended program and location, which we're working through. And then also, once that's understood, developing cost estimates and also what this facility could potentially look like. And these renderings will be very initial, and they won't really they'll inform about what the project could look like, but as the project advances, there will be a much more detailed process that's going to go through a whole architecture and design process. So this will just be very preliminary in nature. Then we'll also be developing the operating projections, which is the revenue and expense statement for the facility. So how much is it going to earn and spend on an annual basis? And what is the net operating income going to be? Important to understand if it's going to have a positive net operating income, revenue neutral, or negative to help inform the decision making. And then also conducting an economic and fiscal impact analysis. And, these projects generate significant economic and visitation activity. So understanding how this is going to benefit the community, both from an economic impact perspective, but also from a fiscal impact perspective, is also very important. And it also ties to the last item, which is developing a funding strategy. So how is this facility going to get paid for? Who's going to own it and operate it? Are some of the key questions that we'll be answering there. So I think that is really the end of our prepared remarks, I believe. So I think if there's any questions about next steps or any of the case studies or the consumer preference and outreach efforts, we'd be pleased to answer any questions you all might have.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you so much for the presentation. I'm sorry.
Sorry, real quick.
Oh, Councilmember Bergen.
Oh, I was just going to say thank you for the presentation.
But this was Councilmember Murillo.
Councilmember Murillo.
Thank you. I just was gonna thank you, Ryan, for the presentation. Wondering if you could overview the resident survey. Sorry, I forgot the exact word. Just demographics. How did you reach folks? Sounded like you had like a really wide intersection of feedback. Could you just share a little bit more about what that looked like?
Yeah, I'll pass that to Mark to handle since he was the lead on that component of work.
Yeah, certainly. Thanks for the question, council member. So we work closely with your communications department on staff to make sure that we were promoting across the standard channels that have been used in recent planning efforts to make sure that the notifications are going out as kind of broadly as possible. We also, through the libraries and arts and culture department, worked with postings and libraries, rec centers, and other kind of performing arts avenues, and then promoted it in person at a couple of those pop-up events that were noted there specifically. It ran for about, gosh, I should have this information off the tip of my tongue, for about 4 weeks, I want to say, in that process. And there was multiple promotions throughout that point to ensure as we were seeing responses come in, we were pushing into sectors where we might have had a lower responses, whether it was in ward representation or in age representation or otherwise. But yeah, that's a high level summary and response.
And Mark, we did include some demographic questions in the survey as well. We have that information, but just not in this prepared presentation. But we'd be pleased to share that with you all as well.
Certainly.
Yeah, that would be great. Renters, home versus homeowners. I don't know if you ask those types of questions, or income, or type of industry that they work in, all that good stuff. That would be great to review.
Absolutely.
Further questions or comments? Thanks for the presentation. Really appreciate it. Thanks for all your work.
Great. Thank you all. Really appreciate the time. Thanks.
Mayor Pro Tem, winter workshop.
Thanks, Mayor. Well, because of the reason we are meeting remotely this evening, as well as the fact that our agenda is not that packed and would likely only take 2 to 2.5 hours, I'm told, is there any opposition to having the winter workshop virtually? more convenient for everyone? Sounds like, okay, thank you. Well, I would like to pass this on to City Manager Batchelor to talk about the agenda items that day.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Just real quick, just for you all, like I said, it's 3 items. The first will be a budget update. We'll have Greg kind of give you how we've ended the year, what that looks like for how we're looking into next year, and start talking to you about as we look forward to the 2026 budget, trying to start the discussions around what balancing might look like, get some guidance from you all with the idea that we'll be back at the spring workshop to kind of advance that guidance and keep you all updated as we go into the 2026 budget. We also are going to have a presentation on the infrastructure task force. So we'll let you know about the activities that we have planned there, the work we're doing, and just make sure you all are read in and how that's going to progress. And then finally, we'll do an update on our retail strategy and plan. So we'll do that. Those are the 3 items. As Mayor Pro Tem said, we think it's probably 2 to 2.5 hours. If we have some lively discussion, we might get up to 3, but really think that's kind of the limit that we might see. So if we're going to meet virtually, that works for us, and we'll just be prepared for that and look forward to Saturday's discussion.
Okay. Item number 5A, 2025 outside. Oh, are there any questions of the city manager? Okay. Thank you. Thanks, Jason. Item number 5A, 2025 outside agency appointments. Okay. Let's see. So Accelerate Colorado. Councilmember Bergen, you've been on that before. Do you want to continue?
Sure. Yeah, I usually sign up for the subcommittees on Accelerate before we go.
Councilwoman Hancock has her hand up. I think she had also expressed interest in that. I don't know how many.
Is there 1 slot or 2 or Councilmember Hancock?
I'm currently meeting with them on a quarterly basis, and I thought this would be a great opportunity for me to dig in some more and learn more about what Accelerate does, more than the surface level that we get in the shotgun trip when we go to DC. So I don't know, what is your pleasure, Council Member Bergen?
Well, like I said, I do attend the subcommittee meetings that take place before. So like there's aerospace and defense, there's small business, there's health care and bioscience, and then a couple other, transportation probably is one of them, and another. So maybe we could just both be on it.
I wouldn't be opposed to that if that's acceptable.
Is there any objection to having 2 people on it? Sure.
Mayor, I think it's Aurora has 1 elected official is what it states for Accelerate.
Can we have an alternate then?
Depends on their bylaws. I don't see any reason. Maybe we could check, Katie, that if Councilmember Bergen is the representative, and if she's unavailable, then it's Councilmember Hancock, just to make sure that they have an issue with that. We could try to do it that way, but I guess, sorry to put, what happens if they don't allow that? Who wants to be the primary?
Yeah. But let me just say this, Councilmember Hancock, there's no, I think the question is just voting, but certainly you have the capability to, attend any meetings that you want to attend. They're not closed to the public.
Okay.
Mayor.
Okay. Councilmember Rio?
Just a clarifying question. Is the appointment as the city's Accelerate Colorado representative, does that mean that transportation is covered and it doesn't come out of an individual's budget? I thought I recalled that being part of one of these. I don't know if it's this one though.
Jason?
I don't know. I could find out on that one. I'm making myself a note to follow up on that and find out if that's included for the Accelerate business trip.
Okay.
Okay. So Adams County Airport Coordinating Committee. I think that is a voting situation. I don't know that. I think it's the mayor who understands that. I thought that I had to be on that. Because there's a voting situation. Did somebody comment on that?
Mayor, this is Jack Pachoric. I don't believe it's required that it be the mayor. It just needs to be two representatives, elected representatives from the city.
Okay, I'm okay with continuing on that. Councilmember Gardner, do you want to continue on that?
That's fine, Mayor.
Okay. Let's see. Adams County Regional Economic Partnership. Let's see, so. Okay, so it's just, what is it, one person from Adams County? How does this work? I see Mayor Greg Mills from Brighton. Staff, does anybody know how this works?
Jack, is this one of the ones that, or Katie, that we alternate each year? And it's our years, it's the 2025 is Aurora's year.
Pete, I think that's correct.
Yeah, it's all, that's what it.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's anybody's, anybody from council can be on it.
Would anybody like to do this?
About our new council member.
I was looking for
Mayor, this is Councilmember Gardner. I'd be happy to do it. I've engaged with this organization before, so I'd be happy to do it.
Oh, that's great. Okay, Councilmember Gardner. Okay, let's see, Arapahoe County Community Corrections Board. Well, that's APD, that's not us.
And they actually select the.
Okay, we'll go to the
Arapahoe
next
County.
one. Okay, let's see, Arapahoe County Regional Opioid Abatement Council.
Well, I was just elected chair, so I think I should stay.
Okay. Okay, that's great.
I should say re-elected.
Re-elected, okay. 2020, okay, Aurora Mental Health. Ruben, do you want to continue?
I'm fine.
I'll do it if you don't want to, but I'll give you first shot at it.
All right, sounds good.
Now that you want, you're gonna do it?
No,
or
you're
what?
gonna take it.
Okay, I'll take it. No, I'm very concerned about, particularly when we come with issues like homelessness, that we're aligned and moving in the same direction. So I'll go. Aurora Sister Cities. Let's see.
Mayor, is this up or, because I was appointed in 24, right? And it's a 2-year term?
Okay, so we're at 2025. So do you want to continue doing it?
Yes.
Okay, and then Councilmember Hancock, do you want to continue as the alternate? Councilmember Hancock?
Sorry, my mic was
Oh.
off. Sure.
Okay. Centennial Airport Community Noise Roundtable. I think Brad Pierce does a good job on that. I'd just soon have him continue unless there's any objection to that. I don't know, Mindy, or
She's
I
a
don't
staff
know.
member. Yeah, so they're both
Oh, okay.
staff, Mayor,
Okay,
and we're
perfect.
just there to back up Brad in case he can't be there.
Okay, great. Cherry Creek Basin Water Quality Authority. Let's
Yeah,
see,
Mayor, I
is that-
think Councilperson Coombs was wanting to take this one back from me.
Well, there's one that the mayor pro tem has to do. Which one is that?
I'm just joking.
That's the Mile
Yes,
High.
Mile
Is
High
that the
Flood
one?
District.
Okay, yay, you're it. Okay,
Actually,
not-
Mile High is the one he has to be on.
Mile High is the
Yeah,
one.
Mile High is the one I gotta be on.
Okay.
This one's optional. I don't know if our newest council member would like to do it. If not, I could stick with it.
Well, you're kind of the water guy, so
Okay, I'll be the water guy.
if you
I
don't
mean,
mind.
it's fascinating stuff, but unfortunately it conflicts with my work schedule. So
Okay. Let's see, okay, that one, thank you for doing that. Colorado Municipal League Policy Committee. Angela
Mayor,
Lawson,
Still me. If
still you, okay. And thank you you do a great job on that. Thank you very much. Colorado Air and Spaceport Advisory Board. Can we have a council member do that? Is that possible?
It's a mayor appointment, so yes.
Oh, I just soon have him do it, if that's okay with everybody. Okay,
We'll reach out to Mr. Gruber and make sure he's still interested in serving. If he's not, we'll let you
Okay.
know, but we'll assume he's continuing.
He's
Okay,
on a lot
great.
of, he's on a lot of cruises.
yeah, he's a cruise guy. Comitas Crisis Center, Mile High Behavioral Healthcare now. Do we have any ongoing relationship with them at this point?
They continue to receive some federal funds passed through the city. But I certainly am continuing to work with them ongoing on
Okay.
some of their programs of interest to LGBTQ folks. So I would be
Okay.
interested in continuing to
Okay,
serve.
then Councilmember Coombs has that. Denver Regional Council of Governments.
Mayor, I would just like to see if maybe Councilmember Coombs might want to be the major representative and I can be the alternate. I just got notified I'm on the National League of Cities Transportation. It's very heavy. And also I plan on applying for CML Executive Board this summer because they have an open position. So I don't know if Councilmember Coombs would be, and I could be an alternate, or if somebody else wants to do it, that's fine.
Yeah,
Councilmember
I'd be
Coombs?
happy to do that, Mayor. I'd be happy
Okay,
to
great.
switch to being the main rep.
Thank you. Okay, then.
Are there
would
more
like
than
to-
one?
And Mayor, I would like to stay on the Adams County Transportation. I've been on that for a long time, so if I could stay
Okay.
on that.
Okay, when we come to that, I don't know, where's the,
Oh, no, it's still under Dr. Cog.
oh, it's still in it, okay, oh, I see what you mean, okay. Okay, so we're covered then,
Well, first I want to ask, does anyone want to be the alternate? I don't want to take over somebody if they're interested in it. I mean, it's a really good committee. It's a lot of meetings.
okay, Ruben, what do you want to do? You're down now as an alternate for Adams
Yeah, I'm fine with
and
that.
Arapahoe?
Yep.
You want to keep that?
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, E470 Public Highway Authority, I wonder who was, that one's really, I just don't know who would want to do that.
And I was just elected chair.
Okay, okay, Francois Bergen is.
And that
then-
is very time consuming, by the way. So I know we have Danielle on the alternate. I don't think I've ever maybe missed one meeting in 9 years, but it is during the same time as public safety, but I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Okay. Okay, Danielle, are you, Councilmember Jerinsky, are you comfortable with being the alternate?
Yeah.
Okay, Fitzsimmons Redevelopment Authority, Fitzsimmons Innovation, I'm the chair, so I'm staying on. Dustin's gone, so,
Mayor?
Councilmember Bergen,
I've actually been going to the meetings and was recommended by Dustin Zavonik. And so they've invited me. I've attended
okay,
two meetings.
okay, you want to continue then? Oh, you want to be on it then? Okay,
Yes.
okay, and then, Councilmember
Mayor,
Gardner? Yeah.
Mayor, are we gonna allow, Amsalu, Kasal get on something?
I think we want to pace him since he's brand new here.
Oh, I
but-
wasn't paced.
Okay, we'll give him something. We'll give him something. I just wanna-
Same.
So one thing, Mayor, one thing, if council member Hancock's okay, I can be alternative for a sister series, if that is okay.
Okay. So
That
let's
would
go
be
back.
fine with me. If he wants to be the alternate for Sister Cities, I think that's right in alignment. Yes, he
Let's
can
put him,
certainly
let's
do
put him
that.
in there. We'll take, Councilmember Hancock out. Now, let's see, so,
And
Councilmember.
Mayor, I
Yeah.
would like to continue on FRA.
Okay, there you go. Okay, then that's the three. The Highline Canal Collaborative. Let's see, we've got, Crystal, did you want to continue on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see, I-70 Regional Economic Advancement Partnership. Can that be an appointment? Well, Gosh,
Mayor,
I already had, yeah.
Mayor, Dave Gruber says yes on the spaceport. He's in Cancun right now. I just asked him about, I just asked him about REAP, and I'm waiting to hear back. I'll let you know.
Okay, we'll come back to that then. Aerotropolis Regional Transportation Authority, that's pretty important. Councilmember Gardner, do you want to continue on that?
Yes, I do.
Councilmember Bergen?
No. And I don't know why I'm still on there because last year, I asked if Steve Sundberg would be on with Curtis, which he agreed, and he's been attending the meetings. And I never agreed to be the alternate. I was just on it 1 year when Councilmember Sundberg was new.
Okay, so
I don't
we'll
wanna-
need, okay, so.
I can't do it.
Okay, take you off. And then we have, and then Councilmember Gardner stays. And then, Councilman, Mayor Pro Tem, you've been like a regular at that?
Yes, I'd like to stay.
Okay, and then, but not as an alternate. You'd want to be, you're taking
He's a
Councilmember
voting
Bergen's
member.
place?
No, he was a voting member last year. I was the alternate, but I don't know how I ended up being the alternate because I told him I was no longer going.
Well, there's 2 slots plus an alternate, right?
Oh,
Yeah, Mayor, we have 2 representatives as well as Adams County Board of County Commissioners has 2
Okay.
representatives.
So Mayor Pro Tem, then you'll take Councilmember Bergen's place, and then we need somebody as an alternate.
Yes, I'm fine with that.
Well, you're, okay, but I still need somebody as an alternate.
What about our new council member?
Yeah, new
I was
council
getting
member,
ready to say,
right?
how about Councilmember Casal? That might be a good thing.
Okay,
to ease on
okay.
into.
Yeah.
Only if he accepts.
Yeah.
Throw me.
It is a monthly meeting and then they almost always meet virtually, and I think, and so it is a monthly meeting, typically over the lunch hour. Councilmember Gardner, Mayor Pro Tem Sundberg, did I get that right?
Yes, please.
Can I ask or just ask for clarification since Councilmember Casal is new? If you're an alternate, you're really only attending the meetings that the primaries are not available. Is that correct?
Unless the primary can't be there, the alternate doesn't typically attend.
Okay. Just
Okay, so.
if that helps your decision making, Councilmember
Okay.
Casal.
So we drafted Councilmember Casal, if that's okay with you, to be the alternate on the. Okay, Sand Creek Regional Greenway. Ruben, we got you down on that as
Yeah, well, I'll stay on that. I sit on their board.
Okay, great. Okay. Spirit of Aurora. Ruben, you're down on
I'll
that
stay
one.
there as well.
Yay. Urban Drainage and Flood Control District Board of Directors. Now isn't this one where the Mayor Pro Tem has to do it? Yes.
I have attended my first meeting.
Yay.
Okay. It's exciting. It's good.
Okay, and then
you get paid on that one.
Oh, you do?
Visit Aurora.
I want to stay.
Okay. Councilmember Coombs, you still want to stay as the alternate?
Yes.
Okay. Aurora Housing Authority. Oh, we have one person there? Where's that? I don't think, no, it's all mayoral appointments.
I thought we were changing all that.
Yeah, they're fighting us in court.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, so our ordinance didn't pass?
Our ordinance passed, but it's
But
being challenged in court.
It's being
Oh.
challenged and everything's on hold right now because they issued a temporary injunction on it, so we can't do anything with it.
Okay. Aurora Economic Development Council, we got are these really that many positions? Let's see, Dustin's gone, so somebody would replace Dustin.
And you can do staff members, so they can only be elected or staff member.
On ADC?
Correct.
Oh, good.
Well, this would be one that Councilmember Casal could do.
They meet quarterly, right? And then they're usually 3 o'clock to, wait a minute.
3 to 6, something like that. I think
3 to 6, 3 to 6 or 3 to 5. I can't remember.
Something like that.
With an open bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the
I like this.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Guys, okay. Let's see. Yeah, almost everybody's on it. Amsalo, did you want to do that one?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Gotta pace yourself
Twist
here.
his arm, twist his arm.
Ouch, national organization to ensure
I mean,
a sound. Okay. Oh, on this one, Brad Pierce has done a great job. I just soon have him continue unless there's any objection to that.
If he's okay.
Yeah. We'll have to check and see. I think he is. I mean, it's pretty.
Mayor, I have a little issue to bring up with Aurora Mental Health.
Okay.
I heard from them. They removed any government appointees about 3 years ago. She says the city doesn't have authority to appoint to our board. Is this a board thing or a separate committee? There was some confusion.
It's more of a liaison, isn't it? I don't know. What is it?
Oh, Marcia Bersons was on it forever.
It said they changed it 3 years ago. We might want to ask. But Councilman Medina was just recently on it. Maybe he.
Yeah, that was the thing that they had told me initially, was that you have to be on their board and you have to be a board member in order to be on there, to be invited to the meetings.
So do we need to take that off, or what do we need to do, Jason? But there's always a liaison that doesn't just have we can always send somebody as liaison and they just don't have a vote.
Yeah, you can leave it on, and then if their bylaws are changed, it says that we don't have a representative, then they don't serve. So while you're doing it, I would go ahead and appoint. And
No,
then yeah. Jason,
Yeah, we'll reach out for clarification.
Yeah, I think go to the meetings, just don't have a vote. That's all.
Yeah.
Well, how do you become an actual board member then?
You have to apply like everybody.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know who makes that
Make
decision.
it to the board.
I wonder if the board votes on that, or.
I
well,
believe so, yeah.
I think it's important to have to bring a greater alignment between the city and Aurora Mental Health. So I'm more than happy to go to their board meetings.
Yep.
Okay, let's see. Where are we at now? National.
Do you want to finish AEDC, or is everybody wants to stay on just so we have a full slate?
I'll continue. This is Gardner.
Okay. Okay.
Mayor, if anybody doesn't want to continue, I'd be happy to serve.
On AEDC? Is there anybody that would like to go off? Let's see. AEDC? Okay, yeah, it looks like everybody wants to stay that's there. Okay. Oh, Dustin. Well, Cassaw is taking his place.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that it? We're done?
Is there one more? No? Oh, no, that's no. Oh, I have a question, Mayor.
Yeah.
Since we now have the navigation center, is that I thought we were going to have 2 council members. I don't know if it was a liaison or a board member.
I think the mayor chooses, is it one person? I can't remember.
It seems like that's what I remember.
Yeah, and I'll just choose myself for that, if that's the case, but we need to confirm that.
So there would be two people from council on
Is there
it?
2 or 1?
I thought it was 2.
I thought it was 1. Does anybody know that?
Well, maybe, is anybody else interested in being on the navigation center as a?
Well, if it is 2, it's in my ward. I've been there a few times. I helped with the art recently, and if there is 2, I wouldn't mind, I guess.
Okay, good. If it's 1, then you can be the alternate. Okay. But if it's 2, then you'll be the regular.
All right, sir.
Okay. Anything else? All right.
I think isn't that enough? Like, I was just gonna say, the public does not understand that a lot of these boards require hours per month, several meetings a month. Just saying that.
That's tough. Okay. See, no other further business before the study session already set up the city council. Meeting is adjourned and we will reconvene at 6:30.